Hi everyone, I'm Magnus and welcome back to my channel. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well today. So I have decided that I wanted to start this little series of videos about different herbs and plants that you can find around your home, in your gardens, in the fields, in the forest. Just things that most people would either consider weeds or just some kind of wild plant of some sort, that they don't really cultivate in any way. But I want to talk about these for a few different reasons. One, because most of the ones that I will discuss are edible. Now, some edible plants that I talk about may need to be prepared certain ways before ingestion or things like that. Most of them I will slightly bring that up in some kind of way or another. But here's the thing. I'm not a herbologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of that stuff. I didn't go to school to learn anything about herbs and plants and medicinal stuff. Any information that I provide has just been through my own personal research, personal experiences, things of that nature. Okay? So don't take it, like it's set in stone, everything that I say. Actually, the kind of purpose in these videos is so that you will maybe spread out from the norm. Maybe that you'll try something new, and if nothing else, maybe it'll give you a little bit of information about some of these plants, and you'll take that information and you'll go learn more. You'll study on it more. That's really what I'm hoping for. It's to expand all of our knowledges in different ways. There's some of these plants and stuff that I'll talk about that I know only for one particular purpose that I've used it for, whether it's eating it or whether it's, a magical purpose or a medicinal purpose. But I'm going to do my best to talk about each herb, each plant in slight detail, just enough little details to kind of give you an idea about what they can be used for and stuff like that. Okay? So again, disclaimer, I'm not an herbologist, I'm not a doctor. Most of the stuff that I'm telling you is either my just opinion, which is mostly in regards to how I ingest them and to how I use them magically. And also, I get some of this information through research, through my own research. So there's a lot of research out there. So when you do it, don't pick and choose from some of it. Like, it may seem like I have. That's because I'm only picking and choosing bits and pieces to talk to you about. That's all. I want you to be able to find out more details about each plant, each herb, and therefore, it'll progress you in any way, whether you consider yourself a kitchen witch or eclectic, or maybe you just don't really vibe like that, but you still use some kind of plants or herbs. Maybe this is something that'll help you out. Or if you're not really into plants and herbs, but you like to eat, hey, I'm a foodie, so I'm all about eating stuff. So anyway, moving forward, in this very first video, I want to talk about something that is very, very common. Most of us know it, whether we know it by name or not. We've seen it around. Many of us, including myself, have eaten it as a kid. It is wonderful. It's nice and tart and slightly sour. That would be our lovely yellow wood sorrel. Now, I'm not sure if you can see these leaves very well or not, but these right here are the leaves that are shaped just like a little heart. It's got 3 petals on there. Let's see here if I can. Here's a good one for you. You see? It's got 3 petals, and each one of them is shaped like a heart. Okay, we see these everywhere in your yard. Usually they have these little yellow flowers on them, hence the name yellow wood sorrel. Now, other sorrel plants, the name varies just by the color of the flowers. So there's pink wood sorrel and white wood sorrel. But now there are other species of sorrel that's different than these particular species here. But anyway, so right here, I want to show you something. This is its little seed pod or its little fruit. These are really cool because you can aggravate these. I say aggravate them. You can like push on them, like once they're ready to disperse, so to speak, you can rub on these little guys and the seeds just start popping out. See like that one down there near my thumb? They just start popping out of that thing. Well, anyway, they're actually nice and tart, nice little sour, kind of citrusy taste to them. I just, as a kid, I always ate the little seed pods. That was just what I did. As an adult now, I do take the whole plant. Sometimes I'll just eat it as a little snack. It's nice and citrusy. Sometimes I'll add it in a salad. It's wonderful. Now, here's the other thing I want to talk to you about this plant when it comes to ingesting it. It does have a little higher concentrations of silic acid, so it can cause, in high dosages and high amounts, eating like a crap ton of this can cause your body to stop absorbing calcium. And it can also cause you to urinate more frequently. It's considered a diuretic. And also, overconsumption can cause these little crystalline structures to form in your urine, and it can actually cause great, like, massive irritation to your kidney area and stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's just a little side note about that and ingesting it. Now, there are other side effects and stuff like that. Like I said, feel free to look those up yourself. This plant, other than being called wood sorrel, its Latin name is Oxalis stricta. The name oxalis actually comes from the Greek term oxus, which means sharp or pointed. Now, a few different things that I read said that it's based on these little guys, the little seed pods. They look a little sharp and pointy. Granted, they're not. They're very bendy, but they look sharp and pointed. Some people say it's because that silic acid in there, it gives it that nice tart flavor. They say that's why, because it's sharp, so to speak. Flavor-wise. Now, this plant is also called by a few other names. One of the names is sweet and sours, sourgrass, pickle plant. Some people just call it wood sorrel in general, but you will know it, like I said, because of them beautiful little shamrock. Now, I'm calling these shamrock momentarily. I'll explain a little bit more of that in a minute. But these little shamrock leaves, the little heart-shaped. Now, they're easy to, at quick glance, to kind of get confused with other actual clovers, but clovers have the more rounded leaves, the rounded petals, as opposed to these having the heart-shaped ones. Now, the thing about wood sorrel is that it's very rich in vitamin C. It's really good for you in a lot of ways. There's a lot of medicinal purposes for it. It can be used as a blood cleanser. It's been used for cramps, scurvy, even as a mouth freshener because of that nice citrusy flavors that it has. It can be used for swelling, help reducing fevers, hemorrhaging. It can be used for urinary tract infections. Now, again, these right here aren't like 100% in every single book scientifically proven, but these are definitely things that it has been used for throughout time, throughout history. Oh, look, I'm covering up the camera there. Through different Native American cultures used it in a couple of those medicinal ways that I had specified earlier. It's even though I had mentioned earlier that it's a diuretic and that it can stop the body from absorbing calcium, it's also a cooling agent. That's why it can help with fevers and stuff like that. Now, a slight little lore for you behind it. It was said that St. Patrick actually introduced the shamrock or the sorrel. Some people believe it was the clover, which, again, I'll get into that momentarily, and introduced that in the 5th century as the Holy Trinity, as a symbol of the Holy Trinity, while he was introducing Christianity to Ireland. Because the clover or the shamrock is it's one of their main symbols of Ireland. Like, we all know that, especially like, St. Patrick's Day and stuff like that. You see a shamrock or a clover, most people, first thing they think of is Ireland or St. Patrick's Day or St. Patrick himself. So, now, what most people believe to be the actual clover or the shamrock itself was actually, now again, this isn't 100% for sure, but many people believe it to be a plain simple white clover. White clovers were very prominent and native to Ireland, and they were introduced all across the world later as, travel and imports and stuff like that, exports got more popular throughout the world. So, yeah, so the white clover actually is what we believe to be the real shamrock, as opposed to this leaf here. So even though this leaf looks more accurate to what we know as the shamrock, it originally was the white clover. Now, magically speaking, okay, I'll talk a little bit about more traditional ways. What I mean traditional, more modern ways that it's used in witchcraft and in magic. So some of the things that it can be used for is luck, joy and affection, home and hearth. It can help bring togetherness to family, and overall healing, whether that be mental healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing, and of course, physical healing. It does have, again, a lot of medicinal properties. So that is something that I really like about this plant, because it has a multitude of uses. It's delicious, it's medicinal, it can be magical. Yeah, the plant itself, just in case anybody's curious, it's ruled by Venus, the planet of love, and its element is earth. So if you're working with any earth energies or earth elements or anything like that, this might be one that you would want to work with. And also, now something I want to talk about, a slight side note about this plant, is, as a folk practitioner, that's what I consider myself more of, as a folk practitioner. When I look at this plant, I see these little hearts right here. The first thing that I think of is the human heart. I think of using this in forms of sympathetic magic to represent the heart. And aside from knowing that this plant has medicinal purposes, just seeing that, envisioning that, and thinking about the heart and comparing it to the human heart, that for me is a way to incorporate it into matters of the heart, whether it be love, whether it be healing, diseases of the heart and stuff like that. Some people have blood issues. I did talk about how it can be used as sort of a blood cleanser earlier. Being of the heart, I think about that as well. I think it can be used to cleanse the heart, to cleanse the blood, because, the heart, after all, is what pumps the blood around. Now, that's just personal use for it. Now, a couple of other ways that it's been used in magic and witchcraft throughout history is, you could place the flowers at the foot of a baby's bed, and it's supposed to help for comfort and lessen the effects of colic and other discomforts. Also, you can keep a sprig of it near the bed to help for a restful sleep. That's just a couple of them. And actually, back over in the UK and Europe, different Welsh districts call those fairy bells, because they believe that they can actually help you see fairies. So, I guess that's basically all I really wanted to talk about in regards to this herb, to this plant. I hope I didn't ramble and stutter too much and get off track too much. But I do plan on, like I said, doing more of these videos. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're down for them. Let me know if they're too much or too little or whatever it may be, Anyway, I hope everyone at least enjoyed it to a degree and was able to get a little bit of information off of it. If you have any questions or concerns, comments, feel free to comment below or even direct message me. I don't mind one bit. I hope you all have yourselves a lovely day. Enjoy this hot, blistering weekend coming up. Please stay safe, stay hydrated, make sure you eat, take care of yourselves, get some rest if you need it. And until next time, stay lovely, my witches. Take care, be kind, but remember, don't take any shit.